You're listening to Beyond the Dose, the podcast where healing, self-discovery, and transformation intersect. Hosted by Michelle Harrell and brought to you by PurpleCityExperience.com. Each episode explores the power of psychedelics, science, and soul work to help you reconnect with your purpose. It's time to go deeper, beyond the medicine, beyond the noise, beyond the dose.
Hi, everybody. I am Michelle Harrell, your host for Beyond the Dose. Welcome back to another episode. Today, I am very excited to have a good friend and a return guest back on the show. I'm joined today by Jenna Kluwe. And gosh, Jenna was on the first season of Beyond the Dose, and Jenna and I have worked together as she's also a facilitator, and she was running a facility here in Portland when I first started working as a licensed facilitator. But we've become friends, and Jenna has been doing all kinds of amazing work for the last few years with borderline personality disorder and helping clients who are struggling with that. But she has something new that she has just recently launched, and that's why I've invited her back. So Jenna, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah. So do you want to maybe tell our listeners about your new endeavor and Nature's Path Wellness Collective?
Yes, I have started Nature's Path Wellness. It is a collective of practitioners ranging from therapists and coaches to body workers and sound healers and psilocybin facilitators that have all come together to form a community to hold space for each other and support each other, and so that they can show up and do the best work that they can do. And I really loved running the service center, and that was a huge part of helping the helpers was a huge part I recognized that I missed when that closed. So that's kind of where this is coming from, is my desire to help the helpers and just do all the stuff that's hard to do as a helper, and so that they can just show up and do their beautiful work and not have to worry about all the other stuff, but also provide a platform of community so that we can get together. So we meet monthly online, and then we'll be meeting quarterly in person to just be in community and support each other in any way that is needed.
It's amazing. And I just want to be clear so that the audience understands, the Nature's Path Collective is not a service center, correct?
Correct.
However, it is kind of like a one-stop shop in a way for folks who are, there's many use cases why somebody might seek you guys out. But what I love about it is it kind of everything under one umbrella, because, we are whole persons, we are whole people, and there are many modalities that folks might be needing in their healing journeys, on their healing paths. It's not a one size fits all, which, I love. And it does take a village. So I don't know if you want to kind of talk a little bit about what was your inspiration for wanting to kind of launch this and what kind of different modalities you guys are offering.
Sure. So in addition to just helping the helpers, also there's a huge gap in the integration space. So this was something I had kind of planned with the service center to provide wraparound care.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think of integration as therapy, and that is one definite thing to do for integration work. But as you were saying, we have a whole person. There's a lot more to us than just the therapeutic mental health therapy. So there's lots and lots of ways to provide integration, or to have your experience integrated and to continue on your health journey. And that's through body work, massage, and all these different modalities. So my goal really is to be that one-stop spot. And also as a client perspective, someone who has been in the medical system now at post accident with my concussion, having to go to all these different places and try to figure out who does what and where. And it is not fun. And it really leads to, from a client's perspective, my perspective, I don't want to follow through. I don't want to have to go look to all these different places and travel to different locations all over the place. So that was the other piece of it from the client side of things, is how do I also provide that need or fill that gap? for both integration work and just in general as humans, we need to take care of ourselves. And so the initial inspiration was to fill the integration gap. But then again, I had this accident happen. And then I was like, oh, and also, I
Yeah.
want to be that place that is the one-stop shop that people can just show up and say, "Oh, I would love to try yoga and I need a massage and what's this brain spotting thing I've heard about and I need some help with my nutrition." So we have all of those things
Yeah.
available through Nature's Path.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see this model in more places, I think we're slowly I think the world is slowly catching on to this more holistic approach to mental and physical health. I think to your point, if someone is already struggling with whatever they may be struggling with, whether it's mental health or physical health or both, it can be really overwhelming to try to even navigate and find, to your point, to figure out, okay, I need to go see this specialist or that specialist. And then are they actually talking with each other? Because I mean, it sounds to me like what you're trying to, the community that you're kind of wrapping around this as well is a huge part of it because it does take a village. And if I'm seeing two or three people within your collective, are they able to kind of share? I mean, obviously there's privacy laws and things like that, but how much sharing are they able to do around kind of treating that person holistically as community?
Yeah, that's another big thing that's encouraged.
Yeah.
That of course there is privacy, and if the client doesn't want folks talking, then that's definitely okay. But that is another big benefit is that we do talk through cases
Mhm.
and refer to each other and like, hey, I'm struggling with this. What do you guys think? What could be something that benefits this person? And then we can make suggestions and refer within, and then also help care coordination within the group as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's huge because, I mean, when people get together and different specialties, different expertise, it's like, oh, I didn't know that about X, Y, or Z, or maybe we should talk because I can do this and you can do that. And that could, help with this or whatever. I don't know what
Yeah.
the right examples are, but
No, that's exactly the plan though. Yes. Yep.
yeah, it's like, there's more creativity, more solutioning in group, right? Rather than
Yes.
just with one individual, I think, and more,
Yep.
we can't all know everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we can help educate each other too. Like that's another piece of it is just consulting with each other in these meetings and learning from each other so that we're expanding our own knowledge too. And then also like we've been saying, like so and so knows that. Here's this person instead of trying to find that person. Because I know for example, going to my chiropractor, she's like, okay, so you need PT and you need this and you need that and you need that.
Right.
I'm like, well, how do I coordinate all of this? This is a lot. And I had a concussion, so my brain wasn't working at its fullest potential. And that
Hmm.
was really, really difficult. And I was so grateful for just getting referred to the concussion clinic, where then they said, okay, so now we're going to send you to these places. And they did part of that for me. I still had to find a physical therapist separate, but it was very helpful to just have a one stop place for
Yeah.
the other stuff that I was doing. So, yeah, and
Yeah.
that was more, medical, but so this is more of the wellness side of that experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you know this, but I'm on the board of directors for a local nonprofit called Breast Friends, who we support
Yeah.
when we support anyone going through a breast cancer diagnosis. Mainly women, but men get breast cancer too. So, anybody. And I think that, anytime you're navigating any kind of health crisis, it's helpful not only to have the community, but to actually have that point of contact, somebody maybe one person that can kind of hold your hand and help you navigate what your options are. Is that something also that you guys are doing through this collective?
That's kind of my role so far
Okay. Yeah.
is to be helping folks find what the best path is for their care. So yes, we're definitely doing that. Right now it's me.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see how that grows and what this all turns into, but yes, that's definitely part of what we're offering.
Yeah. So maybe walk us through how if somebody was interested in, exploring your services, what's the process and how do they, because there might be modalities they've never heard of or don't even know might be helpful for them.
Yeah. So I've been really working hard on our website to really describe what everyone does because there are
Hmm.
so many different services that everybody offers. We have actually a couple more folks that are have just joined this week that I need to get up there. So we're still growing. So the first step though is to go to our website. There is a button to click to get an appointment with me if you're like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. Look at all these things. I don't know where to
Right.
go first. And then I would be helping you navigate which one it is. But if you do just look through the services and say, oh, I want this and this and this, then you can just book right from our website and get started with them. There are free calls with everyone. So if you just want to chat with one of our practitioners about what they offer, that's definitely
Hmm.
available. Or if you're like, yep, this looks great, I want to work with Brenda and have some nutrition coaching, and boom, you can just set that up right then as well. So
Amazing.
multiple ways to get into into working with
Into the
someone. Yeah.
process. Okay.
Yes. There you go.
And then is it like a membership or how does that?
Nope. As a client, you can just pick and choose what you're doing
Okay.
and yeah, just go from there, just like you would any other appointment. You just choose what you want and sign up and off you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you doing mostly in-person stuff or is it a hybrid
It's a
model or?
yeah, it's hybrid. It's if you want to be at home for the services that obviously you can do at home. Can't get a massage on Zoom, but
Right. Yeah, yeah,
maybe
obviously. Yeah.
someday we'll get there, but
I don't know if I'd want a
that would
massage
be
over
weird.
Zoom. Yeah.
No, I know, right? I was joking with somebody about that just the other day about, yeah, that being a thing. So we do have a location that has two different spaces. One is more of an office space with the couch, so you can do your coaching or your therapy there. And then there's another office that's just for body work. So your massage, your Reiki, craniosacral therapy, and those kind of modalities are in that space. And then again, there's the option to do the non-body work stuff online as well.
Gotcha. And then talk to me a little bit or tell us a little bit, how does the community aspect work exactly? So is that just the practitioners or is that also a customer facing?
So far, we're just starting as the practitioners.
Okay.
The goal in mind is to create a client community too,
Hmm.
to have some support going, but this is just in the very beginning baby
Yeah,
steps
yeah, yeah.
of starting.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is an ultimate vision towards probably the closer to the end of the year that I'll be
Hmm.
building out the client community after we get the practitioner community really built out and going.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, because I think, there's a lot of pressure, I think, for folks to feel like they have to choose one thing or one path or one modality. So I think that's what's so great about what you guys are doing and what you're doing, bringing all of this under one roof, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe tell us, where did the inspiration come from, to want to do this? Obviously, you've been thinking about it for a long time, but
Yeah.
yeah. Talk to us a little.
It's really funny when I think about like, wow, this is something that I've really had in mind, kind of in the back of my head since my very early counseling days. One of the things that I noticed probably like the second year as a counselor is how much folks need community and that it's so lacking. And that working with folks, particularly with depression,
Mhm.
just don't have hobbies. They just don't have things that they do that they enjoy, or at least that is, part of depression is losing joy in the things you used to like. Encouraging groups and community around doing things was one of the first thoughts I had. And so back in Michigan, in my very young therapist self, I was like, I should start a wellness center that includes like craft time and it
Right.
also does like massage and all these things that people don't have access to. And how can I make this like very accessible and all that stuff? And so it's been interesting, like reflecting on. And then I moved forward with all the other therapy stuff I was doing and started a family and all of that. And so that kind of got pushed aside. And then really when I opened the service center, that was part of the dream there was that I was going to continue building that into more of not just a psilocybin space, but also this wellness space as well and do wraparound care in that way. But, running a service center is a lot.
Yeah.
So I
Yes,
didn't
it
get to
is.
that. And as you know, we had to close fairly early on in the process. So I never really had the opportunity to get to this. So I was already kind of there. And then took some time to really reflect on what I wanted to do next after the service center. I'm like, it is this. Like I love my one-on-one work too with clients.
Mhm.
But I loved building community both for practitioners and having this idea of being able to wrap around. I started doing what I called integration support workshops for the
Mhm.
facilitators.
I remember.
And
Yeah.
ah, and I had some folks that I knew talk about like death doula. What does that look like? I had one of my friends is both a death doula and a yoga instructor. So combining yoga and their death doula work was something that he was and spoke about is how that could be something helpful in uh, the integration process. And then I had a sex and intimacy embodiment coach come and talk about their work and what they do with folks. So that was kind of like, I'm pulling these people together. Why don't I just create this place where we all
Mhm.
come together and do the work together and then talk about this because it was just so wonderful to see everyone sharing ideas and my gosh, like yes, if I had this client, I could send him to you and
Right.
building that network. I'm like, why don't I just do that? So that's Nature's Path Wellness.
Yeah, I mean, that's another great point, the referral side of things, like the referral network that creates and
Mhm,
being able to like, if you're seeing a client and you're a massage therapist and and they're talking with you and telling you about other things that they might be struggling with. It's like, "Oh, well, did you know we have X, Y, or Z right here? Or I could refer you to this person who's also within this, collaborative." And because I just for myself, like in the last few years, there's been such a rise in my own networking circles of like functional medicine doctors and,
mhm,
alternative methods to, our both our physical and our mental health. And again, I just think that a lot of us have felt like the standard Western model and path of medicine has failed us.
mhm.
And we're looking for, other options and other avenues. And yeah, I think you're onto something here. I think that we'll see more and more of these kinds of, collaborative efforts to bring different, practitioners and modalities under one umbrella for people to make it a lot easier. And
Yeah,
again, also to learn because there's probably a lot of things out there that we don't even know exist as
yeah,
potential clients. That's one thing with my psilocybin clients that we always get into in integration is like, okay, many of them are out of state. And so
mhm,
after their experience here is like trying to help them figure out what are the things that could still continue to benefit their integration process, continue to help
yeah,
them navigate the insights that are coming forward. We know that sometimes that can be a little destabilizing.
exactly.
Can be hard to go back to your normal life and go back to your 9 to 5 and sit in your cubicle and like, "Oh my god, the whole world shifted for me and now I'm like, I don't belong here anymore in this space," right? And how do I navigate that? So, yeah, I think yeah. Anyway, I just think it's
Yes.
great what you're pulling together. I'm excited to see it. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm excited to be doing it. It was almost ready to launch before my accident back in May, so I am super excited to be at a point where I'm actually launched and we're getting momentum and starting to make
Yeah.
it happen. So,
Well, and
yeah.
I mean, when bad things happen to us, challenging things happen to us, I always say there's purpose in the pain. Maybe the fact that you had to navigate some of that gave you some insight into that like client journey and
Mhm.
the overwhelming aspect of it and how you could minimize that for folks.
Absolutely. That has been a big part of it is like a drive to even want to do it even more.
Mhm.
It's like from a client perspective. So I was coming in a lot more from a provider experience, right? Having been in private practice for so long and feeling very lonely, it's very easy to get burnout when you're in a solo practice and helping people. So that's more of where I was coming from. And now I have this other perspective from the client side of like, oh, wow, how much better it would be to just, yeah, show up to one space and say, I mean, imagine getting done with your therapy session and you have all this built up and now you can just step into an office next door and get a massage.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
my
that's
gosh.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
all
So,
about adding massage everywhere.
yes, me too. It's amazing.
Like, can we just
Yep.
add it everywhere, at the gym, at the wherever.
Yes.
Yeah. Um,
And I'm not sure what exactly I'm still learning what some of my providers do. It's great. Craniosacral therapy is another one that we have.
yeah.
that I'm very interested in and I don't understand very well yet, but
Yeah.
that's part of being in this community is that I get to learn about all these things. So having that in Reiki and moving that energy through, same thing after a therapy session, like go have some of your energy cleared out and moved. And I just think it will be really, really great to be able to provide all that instead of just like, let's see if this one thing works when maybe that one thing with three more things is really what gets you there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so, will you guys be doing any kind of educational, like, webinars or any educational events? Because I myself, I don't know much about cranials. Yeah, I don't know much about it either. So, like,
Yeah.
I would love to, I'm just speaking for myself. I would like to learn more about these things too, and maybe, I'm sure there's others out there. So, yeah, are you guys gonna
Yeah.
be doing some of that kind of thing too?
Yep, I'm starting right now with just the Instagram. We're doing some like brief educational. This is what this practitioner does. So that will be the first place to check. And then as we move forward, I will be doing some more videos with folks and maybe I'm still looking into like maybe more podcasts and having people featured that way. And then, yeah, doing some like masterclass kind of free, this is what we do and
Mhm.
spotlight a few of the practitioners
Yeah.
to get that out there as well. Yeah, because brain spotting is another one that's close to EMDR, but it's not EMDR, and it's really fascinating. We have someone who practices that as well, and I'm super intrigued by that and excited to
Yeah.
learn more from her. So, yeah,
I mean, just even in the space of yoga, there's like so many different types of yoga, that
yeah,
I think a lot of people just think it's one thing, but there's so many different modalities of yoga and they all kind of focus on different things for different reasons. So, I mean, just that alone,
restorative yoga.
yeah,
Yeah, I've heard of all these yogas and I was like, "Yes, I wanna do yoga," but I'm, like, not quite ready to go to a studio and do these things where I'm, like, not gonna know how to, like, contort myself or whatever, and then
yeah,
my friend who was a death doula yoga instructor had private yoga stuff happening at his house with just, like, 3 people, a small group yoga
right.
experience, and that's where I learned about restorative yoga, and I'm like, "This is the most relaxing,
Yep.
wonderful thing." I, like, viewed it always as, like, a workout, and that is not. It's wonderful and relaxing, and I almost fell asleep every time, and I slept so good on those nights that I did that.
Yeah.
I came home and just knocked right out, and it was great. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, years ago when I first moved to Amsterdam, and we're talking about like the late 90s people, so it was a long time ago, but I was doing Kundalini yoga, which is also very different than like a regular hatha yoga or to your point restorative yoga. Yeah, there's just so many different types that I think people are unaware of, and yeah, again, why I love what you're doing. Well,
Yes.
so I'm curious, what is the typical client profile, or do you guys not know yet? Is it
We don't know a lot yet. We did
yeah,
just launch the beginning of the month, so we are just getting started, so I don't know yet.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just curious if it was, and how people are finding their way to you guys and that kind of thing. But yeah, excited to see where this goes. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to cut this short, but what else do you want to share for our audience or, how can we help get the word out about this new collective?
Yeah. Well, I know I've spoke a lot about it being related to psilocybin integration work, and that is a big aspect of this and kind of where I got started. But I'm hoping that, people don't hear that and just kind of shut down like this isn't for me. This is for all of us
Yeah.
who just need to take better care of ourselves, It can range from doing nutrition, a couple workshops with our nutrition coach. We have an ADHD coach, an executive coach, a spiritual coach. And then my goal is to eventually have every type of therapy modality, a therapist from every modality
Mhm.
wrapped in. So just starting on that. So like I am in the pretty, you know, beginning
Early
steps of
stages.
that. Yeah, I'm really early stages still with that, but my coaching profile is getting a lot bigger. We've gotten several folks on that end, and then yeah. So if anyone out there is a therapist that would like to look at joining us, I am definitely wanting to add that into because again, sometimes this a particular modality is not exactly what the client needs, and they might get linked up with someone that they really like,
Mhm.
but it's just not a good fit because of the modality that therapist
Mhm.
uses. So my hope is to, yeah, have, as we all share similar values as part of the collective. We are all inclusive. We are
Hmm.
anti-racist. We are, um, yeah, all inclusive in all the ways.
Yeah,
So that is part of what they sign on to when they join the collective is that they share that vision statement of being
yeah. Hmm.
a place of safety for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Beautiful. Yeah.
yeah, that's my goal is to move towards that. How can you find us more? I will be out and about everywhere, marketing very soon. That's my February goal. Very, very soon. Next week, I'll be pounding the pavements. You, hopefully, your audience, and I'm sure your audience is bigger than Portland, Oregon, but hopefully, you'll start to see Nature's Path Wellness materials around in doctors' offices places. I'd love to partner with any kind of like physician office and things to help with that because I'm not negating Western medicine either. Like that's
Right.
obviously definitely helpful,
Has a place.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
has its place and it can't do all the things. So I would love to partner with folks in the community in that area as well. So that's kind of the next steps for Nature's Path. Is just to get our name out there. So thank you
Yeah.
and providing some of that for us.
I mean, I don't claim to have a huge audience, but for those who are out there listening, so
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. We're
Check
both
us
in this
out.
we're both in the startup kind of phase, right? And trying to
Yep.
grow. That's what's so great about the collaboration aspect of
Yeah.
what we do. I will be sure to share all of your information in the notes and things. And obviously when we publish this episode, I'll be tagging you and all the good things. So
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Thank you. Thank
Jenna,
you.
this has been a pleasure. I'm so excited to see where this goes for you. And
Me
yeah,
too.
just excited about it myself as a both a practitioner but also as a prospective client.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come see us.
Yeah, I might have to come check you out. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if
Well,
we could
thank you.
collaborate with some things too, let
Yeah.
me know.
No, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I would love to.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm always open to that. You know that.
I've already mentioned one of your activities is one of our quarterly practitioner gatherings,
Yeah.
the painting one. Like we should all do one of those things
Yeah.
and
Those are super
gather and
fun.
hang out. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah. All right. All right. Well, thank you again for your time and thank you to
Yeah.
our listeners for joining another episode of Beyond the Dose. And we'll be back next week with a new episode. Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks for joining us on Beyond the Dose with Michelle Harrell. If today's episode moved you, share it, subscribe, and explore more at purplecityexperience.com. Until next time, stay open, stay grounded, and go beyond the dose.